Hello, everyone. Let's see. Can I see your audio from you guys just to double check it?
Hello,
Woo!
hello.
Awesome. Very good. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Radical Terror, the Vast Grimm actual play. This is the penultimate episode, episode 5. For 2 weeks from now, it will be the finale. If you're not familiar with Vast Grimm, it's the first RPG published by Infinite Black, a brutal sci-fi horror setting where each member of this legion is trying not only to survive, but maybe save what's left of humanity. We'll see. It's compatible with Merkborg and uses their third-party license. You can find out more about it at vastgrim.com, and if you're into this sort of thing, I just added some wallpapers today to the website. You can go and download those and make your screens all nice and pretty. And the Pledge Manager is still open on GameFound, and we also have some merch stuff now on the Infinite Black site, like t-shirts and some little mini adventures that were part of Free RPG Day. I'm briancolin, your host and the creative lead for Vast Grimm. Today we're joined by our cast. I will go ahead and let you introduce yourselves and say who you are, and then we will dive directly into the game. We will go ahead and start with Michael, since you are in the top left of the screen.
G'day guys, my name's Michael, I'm the DeadAussieGamer. I'm a performer and entertainer from Perth, Western Australia, specializing in ttRPGs, and I am playing the role of Martis de Marc. I am a twisted biochemist who has maybe a penchant for stealing things here and there. And of course, Noel, I may not be very good at the shooting bang bang of the horrible worms. I am definitely very curious about the ways that a lot of these tributes seem to work in quasi magical kind of ways. Also, I am a brilliant brain surgeon, if I do not say so myself. I am very skilled at this thing.
Very good. And Katie?
Hello, everybody. I'm Katie Downey, aka Goblinkatie, and I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I appear on the streams D4 and Rivals of Waterdeep. You can find me this evening playing Deva Zelschreburn. Got it! She is it Dr. Captain or Captain Doctor?
Captain Doctor, I believe.
Doctor.
Yeah, Captain Doctor.
Captain.
Okay, Dr. Captain.
Every single time.
But she is kind of a rebellious older woman who has a bad hip and a past doing experimentation with worms.
Very good. And Dave?
Hey, Nerdarchy here from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds. You can find us all over the place doing tabletop things under Nerdarchy. I'm playing Kuro Codex. His friends call him CC. He usually trails a stream of smoke everywhere he goes from his mechanical stogie that he's chomping on. When he's not crashing ships, he's trying to murder worms.
Excellent. And Tony?
Yeah, I am playing Kinds 57. I'm an emo bot. The ship that someone destroyed was the ship that everybody found me on. I've been hanging out with the Legion ever since. And I cook, I clean, I help out with security sometimes, and I have amassed universe-ending knowledge inside my skull. Deep down inside, some of the things we've learned behind the scenes about Kinds is that his deepest, darkest desire is to kill things, but he doesn't want anybody to know it. So he also leaves trails of glitter around wherever he goes.
Yes. When we last left our Legion, the Legion had gone to an exoplanet that was in the Rings Eternal and found this place. They were trying to salvage one of many pieces that are supposed to be part of a giant weapon that will hopefully help annihilate the worm infestation that has taken over the verse. The planet was overrun with the Grimm. Somehow they made a daring escape and grabbed this piece in the process, but also grabbed a few straggling Grimm along the way. While flying and putting it on autopilot on the way set course for Marauder's cryosphere, Matisse had managed to unload a bit of I believe it was a pulse rifle, in hopes to make it kind of sputter and spatter little bits of electricity like a disco ball, shooting gleams of light, and instead hit this giant payload, which was really a large cylinder filled with purpley goo and a giant worm that had been mutated and adorned with cybernetic implants and additional like nanotechnology. And right as we ended it, the end got shot and goo started leaking out, and the worm was about to be free.
Didn't the canister have its name on it too? Something like Frankie?
Yes, you're right. It did have the name Frankie on it. Thank you.
Very important detail.
It is. So Frankie was just like as the shot hit, and you see this worm just kind of bam like the edge of the canister, and then bam again as it pushes, and more purpley ooze just starts seeping out onto the floor of the ship. The payload had just gotten secure because you were doing some crazy maneuvers, flying all over the place, banging stuff up and killing Grimm. What would you all like to do now?
I want to try to activate the tribute to speak into the item, and a Grimm will answer questions. I want to see if it'll work on a worm.
Okay, very good. For that, go ahead and roll. You're going to spend a neuromancy point, and you will roll a presence test with the DR12. And because it hasn't been a new day, we stopped like right in the middle of a big kind of combat situation. We're not starting with more neuromancy points. We're not starting with more favors. Things are just bad.
Not that bad. Presence 23.
That is great. So you activate the tribute, and what do you say? Because you believe with this tribute you can talk to the Grimm, and they will. What was it? The one that they will understand you? Or,
yes.
Okay.
Well, they will answer questions.
They will answer questions. Yes. Okay. So what are you going to say to this worm, or to Frankie, as it were?
Can you understand me?
You see the worm kind of stop slamming into things, and it just kind of turns and looks over to you, and the whole like body kind of starts rolling a little bit inside the tube as air is coming out and the purple ooze is seeping down to the ground.
Oh, this is interesting. Are you in pain?
And then it just slams the end of the canister again and starts trying to work its way out.
I understand you want out, but we're going to try to prevent that, so the least we can do is gain some information from each other.
And you had killed the remaining Grimm that were in the...
There is one that is tied up.
Oh, yes, okay. It does not respond, but it like just kind of turns and is looking at you as you're speaking to it, and it stopped hitting the canister.
I turn to one of the two doctors, the one that's not currently worm infested.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you acquire this worm?
It has been on the station for a long time. Since it was very tiny, it's cultivated, it's been brought up and raised, so I don't know exactly where it originally came from, but there have been plenty of tests done on it to make sure that it could just be exactly what we needed to help control and eradicate the future worms.
I see. Well, we need to do something to reinforce its security tank, or it's going to get out.
While all of this is happening, you see Dr. Z, Captain Dr. Z, talking to this worm, and then talking to Dr. Gosler. Is there anything that Matisse, Cece, or Kynes want to do while this is happening?
Yeah, I'll turn to any of the doctors, really. Anyone got some sedatives or something you can feed this thing? Calm it down while we figure out how to secure its containment? Or you want me to put it to sleep for good?
No, certainly do not do that. This is a integral piece of making sure that we can inoculate the rest of the rest of the worms and the Grimm and stop this from happening. Don't you dare end the life of this worm. It is more valuable than any of you.
So I had downloaded all their data last time. While I'm starting to clean up and move the bodies and go through their belongings, can I just can I feed that data to Vector, who is isolated in his own little fake ship realm, and have him start seeing if that is true or not?
Sure, absolutely. So you tap in and roll. I'm going to have you roll for Vector. Go ahead and just roll a presence, just a presence test, and let me know what you get.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. And Vector, like as you're sending data over to Vector, Vector responds back just directly through the console as opposed to coming over the loudspeaker and goes, "How would you like this data coming back to you?"
Privately, please.
Please tie back in 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. Okay, here we have it. Yes, they believe they are correct. They need, this is a very integral piece. Do you have? And then Vector kind of unloads a whole bunch of a big data packet to you that was compressed that shows how this worm was used. It was planned to be, that was being tested and being used to kind of let out almost like a pheromone to the other worms to make them docile so that they could easily be eradicated.
So is it actually? So it does appear to actually be an essential part of the array.
Yes, of the other components that you have in your schematic. Cool. It's like the other pieces, when they come together, they can amplify what it does.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep on cleaning up the bodies.
Okay.
All right, so Matisse is going to take out his Fog of Pleasure orb, the little gooey sack that he made for the day, and he is going to, after shooting, the pistol and sort of cracking open the hull, he's like, "Oh, merde, fuck,"
and just throw that in.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in.
Okay. Is there any particular person that you're trying to have it aim towards?
Oh, I'm trying to get it in the crack and try to get the thing inside with the
inside the goo and the worm.
I don't think it's actually cracked yet. It's
Oh,
not
so
open
it's just
yet.
Right? Well, liquid is oozing out.
Yeah, liquid's oozing out, so it is cracked.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to kind of get it. Yeah.
Roll because that's kind of like a range since you're doing a throw. That will be a presence test.
Oh no, not presence.
And because you're trying to do something in a very small, specific area, and it's also like, I'm gonna make that like a DR 16 because it's a little more challenging
22.
to.
That'll do it.
What'd you do?
22.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay, it hits, and like right as it hits the jagged edges where the cracks are, it just kind of oozes down in and kind of. Whoosh.
All right. So, which means that he needs to make me a presence test with a difficulty of 12, or slip into a mental fantasy world for D4 rounds.
Okay. Roll. Go ahead and roll a D20 for me.
6.
6. Okay. And all of a sudden, like, you see the worm just starts kind of rolling over inside the tube, and it's just kind of spinning, and it starts like you see the little like legs that are attached to the side of its body, like trying to claw and hit at the body itself, or the edge itself, as it's trying to tap on the glass that's containing it, and it's completely distracted at the moment. Dr. Z, what were you continuing to do?
I'm going to turn to the group. Has anybody seen any repair kits on board this ship? Maybe something to repair glass?
There's no way I don't know what this information.
Yeah, Cons, you know that there's like little patch kits for the ship, and that you may be able to try and kind of rig it together.
Dr. Captain, it is currently third on my list of priorities after I take care of these bodies to get that patched as quickly as possible before it makes a mess.
All right, well, how about you tell me where the pieces are, and I'll get started on that then.
Of course, Dr. Captain, and I tell her the location of them.
Okay, they're upstairs in the behind the main bedroom area. There's a little area close to the engines up there, so you can go up there. And
I'll be back.
Okay.
Could I use my chem lab to?
Sorry, Doc, can you take a look at this other doctor who got worm infected and see if there's anything you could do about that?
Come here. No, yes, I can definitely do that. I was going to maybe see if I could come up with some sort of rubber concrete chemical with my portable chem lab that I have right here, that I could just smear on the glass.
Okay. CC?
If you want to take care of the patching, I'll take care of the doctor.
Just let me know if
we don't kill her.
All right, I have no options for the doctor.
All right, here is my bag. I'm gonna hand CC just like a big pile of like random super dangerous chemicals from my lab, and just be like, all right, find something sticky and see if it'll stick. No acid. Also not this. And I take like 2 glasses of like tequila. I have been making tequila since day one, so I have glasses of juices. Yeah. All right, I'll go in and investigate the other doctor.
Okay.
So I just start dumping dance party nanites in there.
into the big cylinder.
Yeah.
And the worm's gonna poop itself.
Okay, we'll get to the reaction from that in just a minute. Dr. Z, you make your way upstairs. This is not a huge ship, so it doesn't take very long to get up there. And based on Kynes' description as to where it is, there is like small like little bits of like repair materials that you can get and take back down there, and a few tools that you could probably use to try and do that. But while you're up there, as CC, as you dump various chemicals and what you think are the nanite dance party elements into it, the worm inside, like the purpley goo, starts getting strange colors. It starts crystallizing and hardening as the chemicals that you pour in start mixing with what's already in there. And Dr. Gosler runs over and says, "What are you doing?" and tries to grab at your arm to try and stop you from pouring any more in there.
We're containing the threat, and I will totally Spartan kick them.
Okay, roll to hit. Just roll a strength test.
All right, that is a 15.
You kick Dr. Gosler and knock her like way down, like a couple of feet, and just slides along the floor, along the blood of the Grimm that had fallen down there. And then Matisse, what were you doing with the other doctor that had become infected or had been infected?
So he's definitely infected?
Yep.
Brain surgery.
It's a stomach worm.
Nothing in here.
So
I'll work my way down. So I'll start from here, and I'll just move the brain aside, go down the neck. Just.
So this whole area has been pretty foul and filthy and kind of contaminated, like just with the Grimm being killed in here. There's the one Grimm that's tied up. You're just going to go ahead and perform surgery, or
yeah. Okay. So I'll probably get the doctor to come with me to a slightly cleaner room.
Can you show me some sort of credentials? Do you have any? I don't feel comfortable with you at the moment.
I pull out a knife. Here is my credentials. If you would like to argue with them, I can give you my other reference. I pull out my needle gun.
Where's your captain? Captain!
I turn to this noise and say, "Doctor, will you need me to be engaging Nightingale mode?"
I'm gonna push the knife into the scientist.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Roll to hit. You can just do a strength test.
Well, sorry, let me rephrase. I'm not stabbing him. I'm kind of like, it's going from like veiled threat to actual threat. I do not have time for this. You understand that I am currently at least 12 hours sober, and I have no intention of remaining so, and I cannot perform brain surgery while drunk. So
I do not need.
in the other room. Come on.
I don't need brain surgery. That's not the type of worm that's infected me. I can keep this worm at bay. I know more about
you're
worms
aware
than
of this
anyone
worm,
else
then?
did. What?
You're aware of where the worm is? That will make this easier.
I think it leapt out of me, and it's in your friend that was dumping things into the worm tank.
Oh yes, of course. Come on, you. I continue to jab him.
Okay. They go in the general direction that you're pointing them. So this, if you remember the image of the ship, there was the downstairs. You were in the cargo bay area. There is the one additional room. You could probably go in there because that kind of works as a makeshift bedroom. There were 2 beds in there if you wanted to try and perform surgery in there, or go up one of the ladders to the upstairs area of the cruiser ship.
No, I think that side room would be pretty good. I will, of course, wash my hands, do the whole duty of care thing, and then I'll try to ascertain where in his body there might possibly be a worm. Like I'll, start pressing, looking for lumps, as it were.
As you do that, roll an agility test.
Oh no. Oh, that's not bad. It is a 16.
Okay. The doctor tries grabbing your arm, and you can feel something pressing down, but nothing's actually happening, but it's like a cold piece of metal is pressing down against your arm.
Like he's got a cybernetic arm?
Or like they have some sort of shocking, like, taser type device in their hand that they're trying to shock you with.
Don't
Oh, I
tase me,
stab
bro.
him now. Oh yeah, I totally stab him.
That's a her. You've
Yeah,
got
it's a her. Yeah,
Sure,
she's
I stab her. I okay. Well, I stab her. I'm it's no. You seem to fail to understand how threats work.
okay. Roll to hit.
Do I walk up on this?
Yeah, you come
they
down
upstairs?
to the bottom floor, and Matisse is gone, and so is Dr. Octave.
Oh, good. He's taking care of the doctor. What is
Yeah,
going
he's
on
performing
with
brain surgery
fluid
again.
in that thing?
She is resisting.
What?
She is resisting my treatment, and she has
Cece,
just tried to tase
here.
me, and now I am stabbing her.
What? Cece, here. Take this. Patch the tube.
I take the stuff and begin trying to patch the tube.
Thank you, Cece.
Okay.
Why are you stabbing her?
Because if I can put a hole in her, I can remove it as well.
Doctor.
I am the doctor, and any injury that I can inflict on her in order to ensure her compliance, I am sure I will be able to fix.
What was her name again? Dr.
Octave Motorhead.
Motorhead, that
Yep.
was it. Dr. Motorhead. You understand you are worm infected.
I know, but if anybody
All
knows
right.
how to handle
You
this,
understand that at this point you pose a threat to everyone on this ship.
not yet. I don't believe I'm
She
infectious.
just tried to tase me. She is lying, and she is full of shit.
Why did you try to tase him?
Because he wouldn't listen to me, and he was going to cut my brain open for no reason at all.
Is that where the worm is?
No.
Where's the worm?
I don't feel like I should tell you at this point.
See?
I feel like if you don't tell me,
see why
you're
I
still a
stab her?
threat to the
You see
ship
why I
and we'll
stab her?
jettison you out the air hole. Otherwise, you can tell me and we will continue to work on your project together.
It is in my gut. I can feel it moving around inside my stomach.
Doctor, are you capable of, Dr. Matisse, are you capable of performing abdominal surgery?
Of course I am. Who are you talking to? This is but a simple surgery. I mean, it's not brain surgery.
Dr. Motorhead,
Yes.
I make the statement once again. You pose a threat on this ship. Would you like to continue working on your experiment?
If I don't, humanity will fail.
Then I would suggest you lay down on that table and get ready for surgery.
Does anybody have any sort of anything that can heal the damage that your doctor is going to do to me?
Oh yeah.
I hold up a fog of pleasure orb. It'll heal you and make you feel great.
Okay. And she lays down nervously on the bed.
Cece, how are those repairs coming?
We're working on it, Doc. Doctor, Captain, Doctor.
Roll a presence test for CC for the repairs.
So that is that's gonna be me using a favor.
He hits the release button.
That would have probably been a release button. That's a 14 instead of a 1.
Okay. So you seem to be patching it up. You put your weight into it and push up against the canister, and you're able to kind of seal where the cracks are. But you know that this is a short-term solution. This is not going to last for a long time at all. Like, it may make it all the way to Marauder's Cryosphere. It may not. And something about the... as you look down and see the purple goo that's kind of seeped onto the floor, it's almost like you see something shimmering or moving around inside of it. Small little bits, almost like little tadpoles.
Oh, yeah. I would like to grab maybe like a fire extinguisher or something and hit it with that.
Okay, like slam it with that, or like
No, spray it.
Because this is like this is the cargo area. You do have something like that works pretty well. So you're able to spray it down just fine, and it's almost like an amber that kind of like freezes it and locks it into place. So not only does it do that, but it also seems to solidify around the canister quite a bit as well.
Hey, doctors, I think we have another problem. I think these doctors might be lying.
I head back down. I leave the medical
Okay.
room.
So
whatever's
Matisse is
functioning as a med bay.
so Matisse is using just belt straps to kind of tie her to the bed. And he's saying, just for tasing me, I'm going to let you know, I have anesthetic. I'm going to enjoy it. I will feel nothing. You, however.
Jesus.
You are crazy. Does your Legion know just how not right you are?
No one can hear you.
So go ahead and are you gonna start cutting into her?
I'll again put the last belt in her mouth just so that she can like have something to bite down on. That was a lie. I actually don't have any anesthetics, but
Yep.
I think it's funnier this way because she tried to tase me, and that's how I feel about that. Can I? Now here's the thing. I want to be very careful, as I was with the brain surgery. Now I don't have my my random stuff, or at least I don't have anything useful because I gave my last. I used my frog of pleasure. And I had 2 that I gave to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I actually don't have any way of repairing injuries if they happen outside of reacting to them.
Mm-hmm.
Could I, sort of do the whole try and figure out could I do a pre-surgical examination to give my surgery a bonus?
Sure. Go ahead and roll and let me know what you get.
Presence?
Yep.
Now, how long does your captain? How long did your all day? I do this for days. All right.
Nice.
So
I forgot about that bonus from last time.
I didn't. I got a 15.
Okay. You're pretty confident you know where it is, and like even though it's moving around, you feel like you squeezed on and you were able to figure out where this little worm is. It hasn't really grown a whole lot, so you're pretty confident you can get this thing out.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna prepare a reasonable sized jar so that last time it tried to bite me on the freaking arm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like prepare this time when I cut it open. And if it tries to grab me, just in the jaw, just get in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Then yes, I will perform abdominal surgery.
Okay. First, go ahead and roll a presence for trying to cut in and getting this worm.
I'm gonna burn my favor on that.
How bad you do on that one?
'Cause, well, I hit her in the eye, apparently, because I rolled a 1.
Yep.
Oh, and replaced it with a 20.
You
Nice.
you cut in super easy, and like you can like where your fingers were holding it down, you can feel exactly where it comes up, and like you're able to like pinch this worm. It's probably like about like a foot long, and it starts like it's like squirming around and flopping. This gut worm is just like its mouth is opening as you're trying to pinch it. It's trying to latch onto your fingers.
Don't love me. All right. Yeah, I'm going to basically try as swiftly as I can. Once it tries to bite me, do the gut worms have like a hook or like some sort of appendage that would tear, or is it just the teeth?
It is. Hang on, just let me take a quick look at the drawing real quick to get that back. Why is that not right there? The gut. So they have. This book's all messed up. They kind of have little teeth and arms.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
if you can see that, so it's got like it's like trying to bite down, and like its little
Okay.
its kind of arms are trying to wrap around your finger, and trying to sink their little tiny nails into you.
Okay, cool. As soon as I know it's got like nothing sort of attached to the gut, I'm then going to like sort of in one fluid motion, like kind of, oh yeah, I don't want it alive, right? We don't want this alive. So how big is it? Like, can I fit it in one hand?
You can, but it's kind of slippery right now, after being around a whole
Okay.
bunch of innards.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I want to wrench it out, and I want to stuff it in the glass tube. But as it's grabbed my like one of my fingers, what I want to do is I want to kind of almost knit it between my fingers, so it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like if it's biting one of my fingers, just basically try to vice it between there,
Okay.
and use that to kind of rip it out or to pull it out while
Sure.
it's not attached to anything.
Okay. You go ahead and start doing that. Roll an agility test so I know how dexterous you are at this point. You were able to perform the surgery extremely smooth with that natural 20.
14.
Okay. And do you have any armor?
I have tier 2 carbon fiber armor.
Okay. It like sinks its teeth down into your armor, but doesn't break the armor itself as you're ripping it out. So while you're doing, what's that?
Yeah, no, just,
So all of that takes a little bit of time, just mainly trying to find the spot, cut open, and do the yanking. While that's happening, what is happening with Kynes? Because I know Cece's been repairing the canister.
I was clearing out the dead bodies
Okay.
while simultaneously going through all of their belongings and seeing what they had.
Okay.
I'm basically positioning them near the airlock so that shortly I can vent anything that's not strapped down in the cargo hold.
Very good. When going through, will you roll D66 3 times and just let me know what you get, and I'll tell you what you've managed to find on their bodies.
52, 15, and 22.
52, you find a small notebook. Another one, as you're dragging them, they're starting to like deteriorate and just sort of crumble as you pull them along, making more of a mess for you to sweep up. And the other one, you find detailed instructions on how to remove a worm by using a laser pen.
Okay. And the small notebook is. I don't need to know the contents right now, but is it written in or?
It is written in, and it's got some more. It has some details confirming the data that you've downloaded about the about the machine that's being built.
Okay.
And CC, you managed to patch things up, and you sprayed that thing down. Dr. Z, when you came back out of the room that Matisse was performing surgery in, what did you go to do?
I'm gonna go assist Cece.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna help the other doctor up from where he was like punted across
Yep.
the room.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What are you doing laying down? Come on, we've got to repair this thing.
I don't think your friend wants my help.
I'm going to take my tactical knife and scoop up like the congealed, frozen bit of the purple stuff with the tadpoles in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to kind of like, carry it on the flat of the blade and go over to where the doctors are and put it like right under his nose.
Oh, no. Keep that away. No.
What
No.
the hell are you people doing in there?
Do you not understand where it's science beyond your comprehension? You would not understand what we're putting together.
Well, then tell me.
We're building a device that harnesses the power of this worm that has created this. We've created this technology with this worm that it puts out a signal that basically makes all worms and Grimm docile. But we need to put it together with the rest of the pieces. We were testing it on a small scale on the planetoid we were on, and it was working, and everything that we did was proving successful. But
Then what is this that he's showing us?
that is part of these smaller nanite micro worms that are inside the fluid that kind of help all of the energy work in coherently amongst all the pieces. It needs to be in there.
Well, it's not, because Frankie tried coming out to play, and these things came with him.
And I don't know what sort of infection those could have on humans when released. That was all things that we put into the tank, and it continued to gestate and evolve within that containment. We have not done testing of the goo outside of that container, and frankly, we need to find a way to incinerate that.
I turn and look at Cece. That sounds like a you thing.
Fire on ships are really bad
Yep.
for the most part. Hey Heinz, you got any like heavy duty cleaning acids over there?
I have a number of cleaners and solvents. I could certainly probably put something together.
That would be fantastic.
Did you get the tube patched?
As patch as it's going to be, but I'm not sure it's going to hold. One of two things are going to happen. We're going to get where we're going, or that thing's going to break out first.
All right. I'm going to go check on Matisse.
And
And
Michael,
I'm going to head back out again. And as I do, I pull out a small flask and take a swig of it, and I'm drinking my last dose of gin and juice.
very good. Matisse, you have the worm in your hand wrenched out. What are you doing?
So super quick, I just want to ask, just as a player, is it my understanding that we have just discovered that these guys have been working on a worm to control worms that they are controlling through micro worms?
Yes, exactly.
It's wormception.
But Matisse doesn't know that.
No, Matisse doesn't, but Michael's like, so the worms are controlling a worm to control worms.
And the Grimm, don't forget the Grimm.
Science!
Science/fantasy.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, this is gonna go so bad. Like, all of a sudden, the micro worms just have big bodies. All right. So, Matisse, as he's got this wriggling like little thing, I'm gonna try and shove it in a I should just kill it, right? Like I shouldn't be messing about with this. I'm just gonna I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'm gonna. Do I know if the blood of the worms is infectious or anything? I know their bite is obviously, but
As far as you know, it's not. But
cool, I'm gonna
like,
on the floor and.
okay. And you easily crunch that thing down. The doctor, and as you do that, Dr. Z comes walking back in as you're like just kind of stomping out this this gut worm.
Good, you got it.
Yeah, yes, of course. Was there any doubt? Meanwhile, she's
Never a
the
thought
doctor's
in
on the
my
table.
mind.
Yep. Yep, and Dr. Octave is still on the table with a cut that's kind of just oozing out bits from her stomach because you never really actually sewed anything back up. You just pulled the worm out.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I'm still in the middle. But you know, you seem like you're about to say something important. How can I help you, Doctor? Captain.
Well, why don't you work on her while I talk?
Oh, okay.
It appears that the fluid inside the tank is full of micro worms. Nanite worms, if you will.
That and other things, yes.
What other things?
Oh my God.
Thing,
Sorry, I didn't see you come in.
things to keep things to keep Frankie in check and to help use Frankie's powers for good instead of how it hurts the evil that these worms and the Grimm are bringing upon our universe.
All right.
Can you tell? Ow! That the needle.
Oh, quit being such a baby. You tried to tase me.
Have you ever been tased before? It's fine.
You ever had
Have you
open
ever had surgery
brain
before?
surgery before without anesthesia?
No, but I just had open.
Then quit complaining.
Okay.
Well, look,
Alright.
you're fine, and it won't even scar. This is some of my finest work.
Doctor, are you ready to rest for a little while?
Yes.
Oh, I'm always ready to rest.
Not you, Mateo.
Oh, you're talking to. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you unstrap me? Matisse had tied her down with a bunch of.
Oh, I did. No,
belts.
absolutely fine. I will take that taser glove though. That looked really cool. This is mine. I'm confiscating this. And then I'm gonna cut the.
Fight.
No, but I also don't like being tased.
Fair enough.
I
Captain,
storm out.
Dr. Captain, do we still need the Grimm that's pinned down over here?
Do we have questions for these Grimm? I feel like it's a good opportunity. I just don't know what to ask.
I feel like maybe you were going to use your tribute on it, but then
was.
you used it on Frankie.
I can still use it.
Kynes, with that purple goo on the floor, is that bothering you at all, or are you okay with it being leaked out there?
I'm about to decompress the entire hold, so
Okay.
it's not currently high on my list of things to care about. Seems like the easiest way to clean up everything.
Fair
Which is
enough.
the only reason I'm asking about this Grimm, and so
Yep.
Bring it in while I think of some questions.
I will begin securing Frankie and the in the cargo hold there, chain it down, let's get some porta straps, whatever we got.
I done that. I did
Yep.
that last session.
Yep.
Okay.
Kynes had locked it down.
I just remember it sliding all over the place.
Yep. So is somebody gonna bring the Grimm that's tied up into the room with Dr. Octave and Dr. Z?
Did y'all go up or did y'all stay down?
Stayed down.
Stay down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring it over.
Okay.
Is there any like extra spacesuits in here?
There are not.
I'll go over to CC. You can see that, sort of Matisse's hands and sort of the front of his like hermetically sealed like clothes is like covered in blood. He says, "So, how was your day?"
Well, you know, it started off with us fleeing the planet that's being ravaged by the Grimm.
Yeah, I saw
Doctor
that.
is keeping another Grimm on board, which means any of us can be infected at any time, I suppose. Other than that, it's going pretty good. Oh, and these whacked scientists are up to something, and I think they're lying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was just told that they are using the worms to control worms or some nonsense like this, from a planet that was filled with Grimm, who did not seem to care left, right, or center if they were being controlled or not. In fact, somehow or another, even more Grimm came from space just to attack them. Like they knew exactly where they were and how they were. Uh-oh. We might possibly have a beacon of, the worms heading towards here. Because if you think about it, on that planet, which we had to have a map specifically to go and get to, the Grimm not only found this planet, came aboard via ships, but then all of them seemed to go straight for the facility, without exploring any other parts of the planet. They did not seem lost. And really, knowing that, I look at the canister for the first time properly, knowing that Frank was of course there now as a giant worm, and now Frank is here. I mean, we could possibly be attracting a whole bunch of Grimm. Here.
That is a very good point. And also, I would like to show you something, Doctor.
Oh,
See that thing? It looks like a tadpole, not a worm. Definitely not a worm. I've seen worms. Doesn't look like a worm. They've created a brand new monstrosity.
What do I see exactly when I look down at this tadpole thing?
When you look down, it's hard to really tell. It's all kind of, because it's in this purpley goo that's been kind of frozen by the extinguisher. It looks almost like a thin, kind of like a tapeworm, but that has like a more bulbous head at the top. But it's only, I mean, it's very small. But as you look down closer, you see more than one in there, and at the same time, it's like, because they're semi-translucent, normally you see veins. It almost looks like electrical synapses connecting little bits between them. So it's something very strange that doesn't look natural at all.
Does it look similar in any way to the brainworm?
In some ways, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try something, but I'm gonna put a glass jar, like my little glass container that I had. I'm gonna put it over it. And what I want to do is I want to use the taser glove, and I want to send an electrical current through the purple liquid and see what it does.
Okay. As you go to try and do that, you realize that the same you do that, and the glove is kind of like faulty. Like something happened, like it got banged up, so it's like sending out a slight charge, but it's not like sending out the full current like it should.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'll a little charge will be fine. I'll try to zip it, like just see if it does anything.
As you do that, you see like a little bit of electricity like pulse through, and you see like the little tiny tadpoles that are inside this little bit just kind of, it's almost like they light up like Christmas lights, just really quick, like bling 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 bling, and then it goes away, like as the current is going through them, and then it disappears.
All right. Well, that is both fascinating and disgusting. Well, hopefully the captain, she'll be able to find some information about the Grimm. But I think we might need to be prepared to get the hell out of here. I left the pilot station on autopilot for the time being.
Please secure yourselves. I'll be venting the hold in 2 minutes.
As you've been doing that,
I look at the 5-minute walk to the exit. Damn it.
Dr. Gosler's been examining the canister and making sure it's all secure and everything seems to be functioning. tapped some additional power into it to get some certain things going. It looks like the purple fluid inside is moving around. And Kynes, you had just delivered the Grimm to Dr. Z in the room downstairs.
Thank you, Kynes.
You're welcome, Dr. Captain.
And I am going to activate the tribute again.
Okay. Roll your presence test for that and spend your neuromancy point.
It's 12 plus minus 15.
Okay. It activates just fine. And roll a d6. Roll 2 separate d6s and just let me know what you get.
I got a 1 and a 4.
Okay. So you activate the tribute. The Grimm, like its eye.
Are we being tracked?
No, you are not.
Why are the Grimm attacking the laboratory?
We want what you took.
How do you know about the contents of the laboratory?
We have been scouring the network for information about this device that you vile humans want to use to eradicate us. But we have other plans.
Where's the highest concentration of Grimm currently?
Probably the bitter void. Hang on. And you see like the blue eyes just kind of fades just a little bit. The bioluminescence fades a little. Then it lights back up. Yes, that is where.
Where was the last place we had to go?
The one
This
that you
is
were
an
just
out-of-game
at.
question.
I'm sorry.
No, out-of-game question.
Yep.
Out-of-game question. The last place we have to go to collect the third piece of the weapon.
So the next place that you were going to is on the Marauder's cryosphere.
Okay. After that, though, is that the final location?
Yes. The final location was. Sorry, I can't. Let me take a look real quick.
Yeah.
It was. It was on. It was on Charon.
Okay. Where else are you planning to go? In an attempt to stop us.
All we want is Frankie.
That's all you want.
And then your time will come. The prophecies, they are real. The torments are happening. You will probably cause a torment to occur just by being involved.
We'll see about that. Where else are you planning to go?
Wherever you take Frankie. And then we will go everywhere that humans are. And once the humans are gone, we will find this gate of stars that you are supposedly making, and we'll go through that. And then we will annihilate the next universe.
What resources are you devoting to this?
All of the resources.
Anybody else have any questions?
You hear that from the other room as Dr. Z's yelling out to you in the main cargo bay.
What do they want with Frankie? Are they tracking us?
They're not tracking us. They want to use Frankie to infect everyone.
I don't approve of that plan.
I don't either. And I pull out my shotgun, shove it into his mouth, and pull the trigger.
Nice. And the head just explodes and everything splatters everywhere. And as it does, this as the head explodes and the body slumps to the floor, you see. Will you roll a d6 for me?
Mm-hmm. 2.
Yeah. You see, as the blood pools on the floor, a a worm that looks like this. Whoops.
Ew.
Kind of crawl out through the blood. It's probably a good 3 feet long, about this big around as it starts scurrying away from you and going out into the hall or into the cargo area.
I stomp him hard.
Roll a strength test to hit.
Ooh, that's not great. I'm gonna use a fate point.
Okay.
Or a favor, rather. Oh, that's much better. You said strength?
Yep.
19.
You stomp down on it and roll a because it's just your foot. Roll a d2 for some damage.
That's 2.
Okay. You feel it crushing underneath your foot because it's out of the host that it was in. It seems to really cut off all of the circulation going through it and seems to have squashed this worm in its tracks.
Just to be sure, I flip the shotgun upside down and just start stabbing it with the dagger on the end of the shotgun.
Okay.
Just almost frantically.
Yes. Because this is much like a bug and the things that you do not like. Will you roll one more d6 for me?
Sure. That's a 1.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. The doctor that's still on the table that you haven't unstrapped yet is yelling, "Let me out of here! Please unstrap me! Let
Be
me
right
out!"
with you, killing a worm.
Oh no, we seem to have made a bigger mess. Why don't we take the captain and all the others upstairs, and I'll get all this taken care of.
Worm's dead. Then I head into the room where the doctor's tied up and release her.
See her just kind of scraping things off.
Sorry about that. Order of operations.
I'm just ready to get to Marauder's cryosphere.
Me too. Good news is we're not being tracked. Bad news is they want Frankie.
Of course they want Frankie.
I would like to ask, how do we know that this Grimm wasn't lying when it said we weren't being tracked?
We don't. It's a good point. They're looking for him. I would imagine they have some way of telling where he is.
Yeah, the way that they were moving is far too deliberate. And I was just explaining with CC that some things these doctors are doing is a little not on the up and up. And I think perhaps it is in our best interest that they start to become a little bit more open with what exactly.
Something we're doing is not on the up and up? You just cut into me against my will. Something we're doing is not on the up and up.
You were worm infected.
I pick up the worm from the floor, the little dead carcass, and I throw it kind of between her legs where she's sitting on the table. I'm just like, and
Nope.
you're welcome.
I do not need to become infected. You need me to be able to control Frankie. And
Right, so far, all you have done is lie, explain, how what you know is still very, very little. You have questioned, of course, your own surgery, which has not only gone out without success, but you also have been concealing where you are hiding said worm. So far, really, having you here and having you at the airlock is more and more the same, except I would have been having my lunch by now had you not been on the ship.
without me, you will not find the right connections on Marauder's cryosphere to get this, whatever you want for this worm, for Frankie. Do you want some sort of big payoff or reward? Or do you even care about cred sticks?
It's not exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to stay out of jail, and the captain, she has the right people, so that's why I'm here. I could care less about money. In fact, if the captain ordered me, I'd stab you right now, even though I've just healed you and saved your life.
For the
Isn't that
record,
weird?
I'm not ordering that yet.
Yet.
I believe the doctor and I can work together. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I think so. Your bot had said that you were going to be doing some venting. I think. Would it be okay
Yeah.
if myself and Dr. Gossler stayed down here and didn't come up with you, so that once the venting is done, we can go out and make sure that Frankie is being taken care of and everything.
How do you intend to survive the venting?
Isn't this room that we're in? Isn't this safe from that?
You want to stay in here?
Yes.
We'll keep someone here with you.
Oh well, I can stay here, Captain Doctor. I think we're building quite a close personal relationship.
Mm,
You do seem to have a good rapport.
I mean, come now. What's a few bodily augmentations and surgery between friends?
if he's the only one that you'll leave here, I guess that'll have to do.
All right. CC, you about ready to pilot?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a little bit too long. I'm ready to go stretch my legs behind the stick.
Sounds good. Can you make sure first if we're being followed?
We can see. We can check the scanners and see
Perfect.
if anything comes up. I mean, they had quite the armada back there, so
Yeah, that's what I'm
they
concerned about.
shouldn't be able to hide too easily.
So you work your
Kind-
everybody but Matisse works their way up to the next deck or the next level of the ship.
I walk out. I escort the other doctor into the room. I walk out and I stay in the hall.
Okay. He goes in, and Octave and Gossler are in the room, and Matisse, you're in the room with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're
yeah.
just over on the bed that the surgery didn't wasn't performed on, and they're just kind of talking quietly amongst themselves and looking over at you every now and again.
I will not allow them to talk quietly. I will sit uncomfortably close to them and say, weird, right? Great big worms coming and attacking your facility.
It was the Grimm that were attacking the facility.
Yes, of course. Nothing to do with the worms that you had swimming around with the worm in the tank.
Of course they want this worm. They don't want Frankie being used to destroy them. Would you want some
No.
piece of technology that could just completely immobilize and destroy all of your kind available? I mean, with Frankie, we can win this war against the Grimm. I don't understand how you're not. Maybe we haven't explained it well to you, but Frankie is the puzzle piece that we need.
Oh no, this is true. Yeah, no. Look, if as far as what you are saying, it sounds très bien, but the problems that I find is little things, the little details. Broad sweeping strokes are all well and good, but things like what attracted the Grimm to your facility, the fact that how did one acquire Frankie in the first place, the sudden need for the evacuation and our very, very coincidental timing of being able to provide said evacuation is, I would say, a little bit more on the nose than Matisse likes.
Well, if you want to, we can talk through all of these, and we have very good answers for every single one of your doubts and questions. But I feel like that's something that maybe we should speak with your entire Legion, because I feel that perhaps some other people in your group might be a little more reasonable than you are.
Oh, that's because I am the most suspicious of us. You see, The captain, she likes to keep people alive because, well, while they're alive, they're of use to the group. CC, well, CC is a very simple individual. He likes their ship, likes to keep things nice and easy, and will honestly tune you out after a few more months. But, oddly enough, will likely believe you for what you have to say. And then there's the robot. We don't talk about the robot. As far as I know, I think I think there are more than a few skeletons in the cleaning room. But for me, however, you see, I did not exactly get offered the same kind of privileges of being able to assume that everyone has the greater good of humanity in its wake. And Matisse sort of unclips his respirator, and he takes off the plague doctor mask, and you can actually see what would have otherwise been his face is almost like an open-faced skull with like cybernetics and augmentations, muscle fibers barely held together with tubes that kind of feed down an opening in his mouth with what would be a speaker embedded in his throat. As he does so, he says, and it's a more robotic voice now that he's, kind of removed the filter, and he says, and I hope you can appreciate that the goodwill of humanity hasn't always been for the benefit of the people in humanity.
As Matisse is saying that, Dr. Gossler leaps up and tries to rip the mask the rest of the way off while trying to like punch right in the face.
Oh,
roll an
nice.
agility test.
Oh, I will totally do that. Whoa! Okay, that is a 12.
12 makes it, and you just like kind of dodge just out of the way as Dr. Gossler was trying to make his one move as you did that. And while all that's happening, the rest of the ship, CC, Kynes, Dr. Z, you had gone upstairs.
I stayed in the hall.
I had not. I was still prepping to vent the hall.
Okay. So
I was standing in the hall listening. I don't move to go inside when I hear the scuffle.
Okay. So you hear all of this happening. Kynes, you were starting to prepare everything. Was there anything that you were doing down there aside from just getting everything close to
I'm
the...
just waiting for these dumb meat sacks to get out of here because they can't survive without oxygen.
And,
the hold is separate from where we are.
So like there's the big cargo bay area, and then there's like this smaller room attached to it, and then there's the stairwells, like the ladders going up. So
Right.
So it's like one big room. Oh, we just lost Michael.
Yeah, we did. Like, if you can hear him, then you're hearing the oxygen that I'm trying to vent out.
Right.
So that's what I'm waiting on.
Yep. So you can either be in that room and then the venting can happen, or you can just wait and if you want to wait and you're hearing all this conversation going on, you can hang out there until this happens. But while that's happening, then Cece, you had gone upstairs, right? Because you were going to start piloting and see if anything happened.
That is correct.
Okay. Michael said his power went out. He's on it, so hopefully he'll be back in. I'm not going to adjust the windows for now, but
He's getting on the bicycle and starting to pedal the generator.
he will make it work. So you go up to start piloting the ship. You're looking around on the sensors to see if anything's following you. Roll a presence test.
Alrighty.
Because it is set to autopilot at the moment, but...
That is a 19 on the die, so that'll give me a 21, I believe.
You're corkscrewing, aren't you?
With that kind of roll.
Maybe I might need to just throw it in there. Just he's got one move only.
Awesome. Okay, hang on just 1 second as I'm gonna switch people's places around because everybody is not in the right spot. So if you're watching at home, everybody has been shifted. Bear with me for a second.
Who am I now?
You were Kynes 57.
Awesome.
Michael all of a sudden was CC. I managed to stay myself, which was weird. Okay.
It's because you're always in number one spot.
we've just lost power to like the whole area, so I'm it's not my
Gotcha.
Oh, jeez.
And if for some reason you need to bail out, just let us know, okay?
Okay, I will.
Koala bear's chewing through the power lines again.
Yeah, right.
It's the drop bears.
You know what? No joke. We actually have galahs, which are a type of bird from down here, who have actually eaten our fiber cables before for no reason. They just like to do it.
No reason.
Yeah,
Because they're
Yeah,
delicious.
they just literally dig them up. Yeah, they dug them up and they they set back like our fiber internet by like I want to say like millions of dollars. But yeah.
So, CC, you get up there. You're testing. You're checking.
Also, I discovered like when I lose power, film in video.
Say that last bit again.
Oh, I was saying I can't film in my studio because it's so dark.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So CC, you had gone up and you just did a piloting test to see if you could see anything, and you definitely have two ships coming up behind you. They sorry, go ahead.
So my CC's instincts are to try and invade, but also he believes that Frankie is kind of leading them right to us. So any of the tricks he might have probably aren't going to work. So I want to jump on the intercom and be like, "Hey, crazy, wacky doctors we picked up. Is there any way to block Frankie's pheromones or whatever the hell he gives off? Can we wrap him in tinfoil or lead or something?"
They hear this come over the intercom, and that's all happening right after a punch was thrown at Matisse. Dr. Z, you hear the scuffle going on inside. You hear like it sounds like somebody like some sort of movement inside, and it's like something hit the ground because the person like just moved like went to throw the punch really hard. Dr. Gossler, and when missing Matisse, just kind of made a little bit of a noise when trying to work their way through.
all right. At this point, I'll look to Kynes, nod, and walk into the room and close the door so it seals.
So for the first time, you're seeing Matisse without his mask on the front. You're seeing what he had described a minute ago. It looks like Dr. Octave Motorhead is still sitting on the bed, but it looks like Gossler is up and pretty close to Matisse as well, as though they're engaged in some sort of conversation or something else.
Okay. Cece's got the situation well in hand, so I thought I'd come down and spend some time with you all.
And then you just heard that come over the intercom, and Dr. Octave stands up. There's nothing we can do to block any sort of signal. The Frankie shouldn't be tracked. Maybe the Grimm that were on board, maybe they had a way of realizing where the Grimm were, or maybe I don't know.
They're hive-minded.
Well, then maybe you should have gotten rid of them sooner.
Didn't tell you that?
Well, I got an idea. You seem very fond of Frankie. Figure out a way to shield him with those big brains of yours, or I'm going to genesis him into space.
Sure. Do you have lots of aluminum or something to? I'm sure if we cover the canister in aluminum, like you had said, was your name Cece?
For you, Cora.
Cora, do you have some sort of aluminum that we could cover the canister in? I'm sure that would definitely work.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
Did I mention I may shoot you in the head before I jettison?
Can we just
Frankie in
stop
this case?
fighting each other and being assholes to each other for 5 minutes so we can get out of this situation?
You kind of
Well, actually, this how you say it, this asshole, it may not necessarily be having a bad idea. You see, a lot of spaceships and the like. Well, in order to prepare themselves for things such as re-entry, as well as being able to survive in space, there are a number of solar panels and the like, which I believe have kind of a refractive surface to prevent radiation from coming into the ship when we pass by close by stars. There's no reason why we couldn't perhaps repurpose not all, but some of the panels, cordon off a few areas to not be able to use, and use the radiation shielding from
If we take
some
the
of the ship
radiation
itself.
shielding off the ship, we're going to expose ourselves to radiation.
Well, only certain areas. If we were to say do the lower deck and cordon this place off, from that, then it should still provide us. Well, I mean, it's just. I'm just saying it's not. It is a stupid idea, but it's not exactly an unreasonable one if we could be creative with it.
The problem we'd run into is it would fry everything in the computer system and the technical systems. I think we need to radio ahead and let them know we're being pursued by 2 ships full of Grimm.
Who are you
As far
going
as
to?
shielding him, we might be better off.
Yeah, maybe.
We need something to knock him out. If he's not conscious, he can't transmit through the hive mind.
I think you. I don't. I don't think the worm. This. I don't think Frankie is going to be able to transmit to the hive mind. I mean, there had been Grimm on the planetoid for quite some time at war with humanity there, and it's just that humanity lost just before you arrived, and that's how the Grimm were coming to overpower our station.
At this point, their best guess is that we have him. So
Yes.
they're going to keep pursuing us regardless.
Does this ship have
Even
any
if
sort
we
of weapons?
jettison him, they're going to come after us.
Yes. Does the ship have any weapons at all?
Minor guns.
And any tributes that might help against the ships that are following?
None. We've got one that'll allow us to question Grimm. And one that does something else that wouldn't be useful.
Just for an update, I'm scanning 2 ships so far. These are probably just the scouts.
So we had been using we're missing parts, but we had been using Frankie to shoot out pulses at Grimm, and it was neutralizing them. Maybe if we had some time, we could maybe build something that we could shoot out of the ship at the ships that are following us. Do you have any engineers in your Legion? Anyone that might be able to help us build something like that?
You're an engineer? I thought you were a surgeon.
No.
I might be able
I
to.
was giving them the middle finger.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you have a better idea?
No. If we can send out a signal that'll knock out the Grimm following us, that's, I think, our best bet.
Okay, let's
What
see.
equipment do you need to be able to do this?
I really need our plans. And
So, Captain, if I may, there might be another plan that, if I can propose one,
Absolutely.
we can speak with the Grimm, question them as it were, and they have a shared hive mind, which of course is how they are using to find Frankie.
Right.
What if we were to do both of these things? What if we were to send a message ahead to the Junkers and tell them that we were heading to a planet and that this is where the weapon was? But that, of course, they needed a substantial amount of military to come to collect it. We then tell the Grimm that we will do a trade. our lives, of course, were that of Frankie's. Because every moment that we have for Frankie, we could kill him and be done with it. Or alternatively, we could, because again, it didn't seem like they were trying to kill Frankie, right? It's not like the Grimm came aboard and started attacking the module. That was me,
No.
but on accident. And then once we find a middle ground, we will not only have the Grimm there to fight the Junkers. The Junkers will fight the Grimm, and we, in all of the chaos, escape both with the weapon intact.
We've got to pick up fuel first. We're not going to get far at all.
We can ask the Junkers to bring us some fuel. That way we don't need to make the entire journey either.
As soon as they get close, they're going to latch on to us.
What if we meet them on planet?
Can we risk abandoning the ship to do that?
Well, I mean, really, we wouldn't necessarily need to abandon the ship. Just delay the Junkers long enough for the Grimm to show up, or the Grimm long enough for the Junkers to show up.
How far out are we from our next depot?
So from the next place, like heading to Marauder's Cryosphere from the Rings Eternal, you're about 2 days out. If you're thinking about the Junkers at the waste barges of Kalar where you started out, that is about 4 days travel.
So it'd almost be worth meeting them there.
So like Marauder's Cryosphere is more of like kind of like it's basically a bunch of ships that connect together around these different rings, and there's been permanent structures built. It's like an ice planet that it's almost like just like a bunch of scum and villainy that is like connects together, and there's all sorts of like small like shops that have been set up, and you can kind of find anything and everything there.
How are their defenses?
Very very minimal, because it's kind of just been off the grid for the most part, and it's not really ruled by any one individual person or army there. So it's not like that location. It's not like you can be like, hey, can you get your army together to help us fight this off?
Kynes, have you vented the hull or the hold?
So as I open up the hold of the vacuum of space, I'm basically just letting the the chunks of blood get cold and kind of breaking them off the ground, and then like chewing them out chewing them out as they come up.
Okay.
Is there any sort of issue with that, or am I just working through that?
No, you're just working through that. That's fine. Is there anything particularly special you want to do aside from like get all the bits and pieces out?
All the bodies out, all the bits and pieces out, all the amber encased pseudo worms on the ground. I do look at that fourth body before I let it go out the vent. The fourth Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
Did it have anything on it?
It did not. No.
Okay. No, I think that's it. I mean, how does Frankie hold up when I fit this place?
Like you can see like where CC had kind of sealed things up. You can see like little bits of shifts, like things are shifting a little bit, and like the fluid that is not nearly as full as it was before the purple is definitely like kind of leaning a little bit, but Frankie seems to be doing okay. It's been enough rounds that this weird worm Borg thing has kind of gotten whatever senses it had back to it, and it just kind of moves around once the venting starts and kind of looks. It's almost like it's trying to look out into space with the cargo hatch down.
Yeah, once that's all done, I'll close everything back.
Okay.
Just a few moments, Captain.
Thank you. I think we're going to have to find a way to send out that signal.
So how's the plan coming along back there?
We're working on it. We're going to have to do some last-minute engineering.
is like we have a power source and we have a barrel, and that's it, correct?
A power source and a what?
And it's so we have like a power source for this thing.
Yep.
And then we have a barrel for the inoculator, and
Yep.
that's it, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Cece, as you're piloting and you're waiting for them to come up with a plan, some sensors start going off. You're starting to pick up a signal that the ship behind you is hailing you.
I will open up the communications.
As the communications open up, you see a screen pop open, and it looks like there are 3 Grimm all standing side by side. The bioluminescent eyes and the pink veins running through their face, and all of a sudden at once their mouths all open simultaneously, and they say, "If you give us the worm, we will not harm you. We will let you go about your business. We would like the scientists, though."
So I will just like kind of patch it. When I open it up, I'll just open it up to the whole ship.
Okay. You hear that, you hear this coming down, like downstairs. There aren't any screens down there in that area, but you hear that audio come through the ship.
I'm gonna make this real simple. You want that worm? You're gonna back off, or we're gonna kill that worm, because right now that's the only reason you're hunting us.
You can kill that worm. That would be fine. Would you please show us the death of the worm on the screen?
No, I'm saying if you don't back off, that's what's gonna happen.
I
Well-
think they want that, Dr. Captain.
We're okay with the death of the worm. We would either like the worm or like it to be dead.
Dr. Captain, they don't like this worm because it is part of their attempt to kill all the other worms.
So we are not going to back off, and you can kill the worm. And if you show us the screen as you kill the worm, we will not destroy you today.
Why do you want the scientists too?
They are interesting to us. Great minds. We'd like to pick
Knowledge
at
to
them.
destroy them.
Maybe we should put them on hold, Captain. Maybe discuss our options.
One more question.
Yes, yes, yes.
Is this worm part of your hive mind?
Why would it be part of our hive mind? It is not one of the Grimm.
Just making sure. Cut the frequency, Cece.
Cutting it. So I cut it.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me, Cece.
Alrighty. And let's see. That is a 21.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So what do you all do now that the frequency's cut?
Oh, was that a piloting you said?
No, that was just something else that I was just wanted to know what you
Oh,
got.
never
so-
mind. It's a 19, flat 19.
Okay,
I can't
flat
roll
19.
20.
Cool. That's fine.
At this point, I think our best bet is to try to find some way to send out a signal. We can't outrun very long. They're not going to have the defenses to support us. It's going to take too long for the Junkers to get here. Much as I like the idea of setting up a rendezvous between these ships and the Junkers, I think we'd have to be headed in a different direction, and we can't get that far on the fuel we have. Especially with them this close on us.
Well, look, I mean, to play devil's advocate is our look. I mean, we had a good run, right? I mean, We tried to save the world. I mean, how many people can say they even got a chance to try? I mean, is there any reason why we shouldn't just give the Grimm what they want and leave?
I mean, I got a reason. Frack those guys.
Yes, but I mean, a dead fracking is much the same to someone if they murder us, and I kind of like my things. They're very nice things. I cannot enjoy them if of course I am dead. So look, I'm not about to condemn humanity and stuff like that. But if we kill the creature and we have the scientists, why can't they make a new one?
Because it would take too long to raise it to the point that this one is. Look at the size of that thing. They've been nurturing this for a long, long time. I also want to crack at trying.
All right, well, as I said, I owe you enough, so whatever you decide, Captain, ultimately this is what we will go with. There is maybe something we can try. It is very stupid.
I'm listening.
So we still have some moderate amount of ordnance here, ship, weapons, batteries, etc., things like this. We could make a crude explosive and give it perhaps to the Grim that is the body of the Grim still there? The one that the one that Captain killed?
No, everything's been vented.
Everything's been vetted. Okay. Well, I still have the ability to summon the Grim. Not that I'm just, but we could then perhaps load that with these ordnance, and I could try to teleport it to the other ship.
Or end up teleporting one of us.
I did not say it was without risk, but I mean the choices are right now to outrun the scouting ships before the Armada finds us on low fuel.
Let's call that Plan B.
All right, I will. Maybe I'll start preparing the explosives then, while we come up with a better plan A. That's what Matisse will be doing. I'm gonna go around and collect all of the plasma batteries for the guns and stuff like that. Well, not all of them, but like a lot of the spares and stuff like that, and start to jerry rig a bomb